So our podcast is about your journey in music and how you got to where you are now.
Cool.
Yeah. So I did read. You're from New York. Is that true?
Yeah, I've lived here for 16 years. I'm from San Francisco originally.
Oh, born in San Francisco. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that. I lived in San Francisco for a few years as well.
You did when?
2009 to 13.
Cool. Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. It was fun. How long
Yeah,
were you in San Francisco?
I loved it too. I grew up there, so I left in 2004. But yeah, great place to grow up. Great place to be interested in music as well.
Sure.
Great scene back then. It was really fun going to shows when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. What part did you live in actually in the city, or were you out in the East Bay?
Yeah, like I went to school in like the Presidio, like north side of the city.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's rad.
Yeah.
So you're actually living in the city. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And how did you get into music?
I went to school in New York for acting, and it didn't really end up being something that I pursued, but it kind of was like a natural progression into doing music. I'd always written songs and played around and jammed by myself. And it wasn't until I moved out here and moved to Brooklyn that I started joining bands and actually playing and realizing that I could do it for myself.
Nice. What was the first instrument you learned?
I learned piano when I was growing up, and then I learned guitar when I was in like 5th grade. My dad taught me how to play just all the open chords.
Oh, cool. So he plays guitar?
Yeah, he's like allergic to like any music that isn't Bob Dylan, basically. So that's what I grew up with, was learning those songs.
That's cool. What was the first song you learned?
I think like the first thing he taught me on guitar was the Cat Stevens song or something.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So you started playing guitar early.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I didn't have like the drive to like, it wasn't like my main love growing up. I think a lot of kids I grew up with spent like an hour a night playing video games and then like 3 hours noodling on the guitar. And I think that's what it takes to become like an insane guitarist. And I definitely don't have that, but I have that with singing. Like I'm always singing and I always have been. And so playing instruments is just kind of like aided and abetted my ability to sing songs.
Okay. When did you start singing?
Oh, you know, before I could talk, before I could walk, as they say.
As they say. Were you in chorus or choir and that stuff?
A little bit. Yeah, I did. It was a long time ago. Yeah, I did.
What about musical theater? You said you went to school to be an actress, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
okay.
Let's not discount how formative the years of doing like, you know, Oklahoma at the local community center can be. Yeah, I don't know. Of course, yeah, I was a theater kid, so I was into that as well.
When you went to school, did you want to be a Broadway actress, or were you looking to be film? What?
I don't think I had any like specific goals. I just loved acting class. Like I loved going to school for acting, and I didn't actually like auditioning or the process of trying to become a professional actor, which is they don't really like tell you that when you go to school for it. Like, or actually they do. They're kind of like, if you can do anything else, do that. And
wow.
You kind of, you know, you matriculate, you come to these programs and you're so like blessed and you feel so special that you got in, and you feel like we're the talent pool that everyone is going to pull from. And then they're like, if you really can do anything else, do something else. And at the time you're like, no, I live and breathe this. This is my life. I'll die if I don't do it. And then you get older and you realize like, oh, I'm not going to die if I don't do this. So yeah. And it turns out that like for me, music really like replaced that passion completely
Okay.
for me.
And did you, like when you say music replaced that, were you starting to play out or like forming bands? Like, did you play in bands and stuff in high school?
I didn't, I always went to shows, and I was it's crazy because I'm not bad at music, and like it just never even occurred to me to try to be in a band in high school. It just wasn't a thing that crossed my mind. Like I loved going to shows, and I always supported the scene. Um, but it didn't, for some reason I didn't do it until later, and it kind of happened organically. When I moved to Brooklyn, I started singing like backup with people, and then getting more involved in like the writing process for people, and then I actually got like hired to be in some touring acts, like as a keyboardist and then as a lead guitarist.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's when it like really
Started
became
for you.
like front and center for me. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So tell me about those first tours and shows. Like you were asked to just jump on a tour and be a touring
Yeah.
musician.
I mean, honestly, this was like almost a decade ago. I got asked to play in a band with this woman, Frankie Rose. It was like her first solo record.
Hmm.
And she had just like come off a tour, and I met her, and she needed a band for all these showcases, and was like, hey, can you just come with me to South by Southwest next week? And I was like, yeah. And I had already been to South by with like another band that I was in, but it was really cool. It was my first time playing like big showcases.
Hmm.
And it all just kind of, I know that sounds crazy, but it all just happened really organically. And then I
Hmm.
just toured with Frankie for years, and then we started a project together, and then you're just out on the road and you meet people, and that's how I joined Pains of Being Pure at Heart for a couple tours, uh, and then Beverly took off in its own right, and it's just been very organic. I don't know
Hmm.
how else to describe it. It's like I've just been hanging out and playing and going to shows for so long that you meet people all the time, you start projects, you stop projects too, things come
Hmm.
and go. But that's how it all happened. And recently, over the past year or two, I've started playing with this band. We started a project called Public Practice, and we just released our first full length this summer as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this actually, the Drew Citron solo record, will be my second release of quarantine.
That's
So
interesting.
yeah, it's very, very interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a weird. Yeah, that's a mild way of putting it. It's been interesting for sure. Um, we're both like both projects. I don't know. It's been kind of a bummer, but I hope we get to tour next year, because we were
Hmm.
supposed to be on tour a lot this year,
With
obviously.
the other band, the other project you're doing.
Yeah, with Public Practice and with the Drew Citron solo thing.
Wow. So public practice is the project you're a part of, and then you're just doing solo. Have you always done solo stuff?
Yeah, Beverly was my project, my own band from like 2013 to like recently.
Uh-huh.
That was all my songwriting, basically, for the most part. And the Drew Citron solo project is just like an offshoot of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when that band ended, you just took some song, like stuff that you were similar stuff that you were writing
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What about the other project you're in? Do you write and sing for them as well?
Yeah. I'm not like the predominant writer in that band, but I definitely like get my 2 cents in, and I play bass in that band and drums sometimes, and like synth, and I sing as well. So
Wow.
yeah,
And
that's what's going on.
is that a pretty active band? Or you said that you guys put out a record, you know, during quarantine.
Yeah,
Do-
we were pretty hardworking before quarantine as far as like live shows goes and recording and stuff.
were you on the road at all when quarantine hit?
No, but we were supposed to go. So my own project was supposed to go to South by this year, and public practice was supposed to be in Europe for
Oh,
May. And
that's
then also for September, we pushed it back, and then now it's not happening, obviously. So
sure.
but
Yikes.
here we
Well,
are. It's cool.
okay, so tell me about, well, can we talk about the public practice stuff or no?
Sure. Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
yeah. I just want to ask about, you know, putting that record together, releasing it, and then now you have another solo album that you're
Mhm.
releasing, and it's both, you know, both during quarantine. That's pretty crazy.
It's crazy. You know, I don't know if I have anything like that particular to say about it. I think it's really hard, like in this day and age anyway, to like feel the actual effects of your release. A
Hmm.
lot of it just happens on the internet, and like it's you kind of just like put a little drop into the waterfall of the music industry, and you know it goes up on Spotify and you hope people stream it, and you hope it makes some playlists or whatever. But it's harder and harder, I feel like, to like really connect with fans and to like have a physical relationship when the album comes out. And that's like something that happens at live shows and at the merch table, honestly. And like that's just been pretty hard not to have that experience with both of these releases, you know.
Yeah, because you put the
Because
record
it's
out and you
going,
can't tour it, and you can't, yeah, go play it for people, meet people.
yeah, it's going into the ether anyway, and that's been pretty overwhelmingly positive, surprisingly. Like releasing stuff has been really positive, even though it's just on Instagram, you know.
Hmm.
Um it's the reaction has been overwhelmingly really nice
That's good.
from friends and
Yeah.
fans. Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about this solo record. You got a couple songs out now that
Hmm.
you've released. When the new one, "Kiss Me,"
Hmm.
is it? This is all going to be part of a solo record, a EP.
Yeah, it's a full length coming out on October 9th
Okay.
on Park the Van Records.
How'd
Uh,
you get signed to Park the Van Records?
uh, the guy who runs it is an old acquaintance of mine, actually, because he had hit me up about contributing to a Granddaddy compilation like years ago.
Oh
Like
wow.
he was a Beverly fan, and I am a huge Granddaddy fan. Actually, like one of the best nights of my life was getting to open for Granddaddy at La Poisson Rouge.
Oh
Um,
cool.
yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, Chris is like an old friend, and I ran into him because I was doing sound for Broncho, who's a band that are on Park the Van.
Hmm.
Because I work at venues, so I was doing front of house for them, and I ran into Chris, and he was like, He was like, "Are you Drew from Beverly? Like, what? When are you putting something out? Like, I want to put it out."
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That's
great.
cool.
Yeah, he's a great dude. He's really supportive. I really love working with them. It's been awesome.
That's cool. So tell me about the record. You did you write and record it during quarantine, like, or were the songs already done prior to COVID?
Um, these songs have been in the works for years, and
Okay.
I am so happy it's coming out because I like don't want to deal with when it's going to come out anymore. That's the thing, is like we pushed it back a little bit because we didn't know how long this was going to last, and maybe I would get to tour it, but I'm just like happy it's coming out because I'm already working on new stuff. Like I wrote like a whole other album in the beginning of quarantine. So
Wow.
I'm working on that as well. um and yeah, I'm just happy to be like on the treadmill again of
Hmm.
the release schedule,
Tell me about
regardless of whether I get to play shows.
Right, right, right. Can you talk about the new song, "Kiss Me"?
Yeah, I really, really love that song. I'm really proud of how it turned out. I think it really, eh, yeah, I wrote it so long ago, which is funny because I don't really relate to it that much anymore, like the lyrics. But at the time, it meant a lot to me. I'm really proud of it. I don't know. I played drums on that song, which I think
Oh,
is
cool.
cool. Um, I I don't know. It's just a song about like being in a very being in a long relationship and wondering if it's the right one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the video's cool too. Being like, where did you guys film that?
Thanks. I actually am so into that video because to be honest, I like didn't really have that much to do with it. Like I kind of just gave the reins to my friend Jen, who's an amazing choreographer, as you can tell. Um,
Yeah.
but I was like, hey, I have this concept to do a dance video. What are you up to? Like, are you free? And she was like, I have these 5 days free and I know what I'm going to do. And I know the guy who's going to film it. And I was like, yeah, go for it. Do whatever you want to do. I just kind of gave her the reins.
Uh-huh.
And I like that. I like collaborating where you just kind of let other people do what they do best, you know?
Hmm. And
Yeah.
so, do you know where they like? Are they like on a roof? Like it
Yeah,
looks.
they're on our friend's roof in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. That's a cool. Like the roof itself is pretty rad too. I mean, it looks like.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
being very COVID conscious, obviously, and that's like kind of the vibe of the video. I really
Uh-huh.
like how it turned out.
Yeah, it's really rad. Very
Thanks.
cool. Have you done any like live streaming events, any stuff like that to promote the record?
Yeah, like in the beginning of quarantine, I did a little live show from my practice space, and then I did a little one the other day. I haven't been doing that much, but I actually am planning on playing a release show in October that will be like very safe, socially distanced, seated, and then like filmed. So I think we'll make a little concert film of it and then I'll produce that and release that or stream that somehow.
Oh, that's cool. So you're
Yeah.
gonna have it set up where you can buy a table or something of tickets
Hmm.
and have people spread out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That must be pretty exciting. Get ready to play like a live show
I
again.
know, I know. I'm really excited and I'm really like it's kind of the logistics that go into it are I'm doing it at a venue, but it's like on the roof of the venue, so making sure it sounds good and making sure everyone feels safe and making sure it doesn't rain because it's gonna be October. I don't know what's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But it's really nice to have something to look forward to. Just have like a just throwing a party, you know?
Right.
Been a long time.
Yeah. I was gonna say, just you? Are you gonna have like a full? Is there gonna be?
It's
Are you
gonna
playing
be
full
my
band?
band, yeah.
Oh,
So
cool.
like a 3 to 4 piece band, kind of a
Very
vibe.
cool. That'll
Mhm.
be really cool. You said that's happening around the release date.
Yeah. I think somewhere in the second week of October. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And are
Yeah.
you gonna release any more singles prior to the record, or you good up until the album comes out?
I think we're planning to I forget. I don't know because the lead single, I guess, or no, the lead single already came out. The like titular song is Free Now,
Okay.
and I have also made a video for that and like we've wrapped shooting on that. So I think that video will come out either before the record or after. I'm not sure, but it's going to be really beautiful. Like I shot on Super 8 upstate and it's just going to be
Wow.
very lovely and nice
Are
to look at.
are you in the video?
Yeah, it's just me wandering around on film.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
Yeah,
going to
because
be
you
so
aren't in
nice.
the other one. That's why I was curious.
Yeah, I'm in the first one. I'm not in the second one.
Okay. Do you like doing the music videos?
I love it. Like it's my strong suit is like putting together a weird thing and getting someone to film it. I love
Yeah.
doing that. It's just like, you know, I'm project oriented and it's really fun for me.
Yeah. So that's cool. Did you write the treatment and everything for the videos, or do you like collaborate with people?
I usually collaborate. Like I know so many people that work in film or work in editing or, you know, or want to get into it. Also, like a great way to engage with like creative people is to see what everyone wants experience doing, you know?
Mhm.
Like a friend of mine is just trying to get into videography. So I asked him to come, like I was in the studio the other day and I asked him to come film because he just like wants to start working on, I don't know, a
Yeah.
reel.
Right.
Um,
Try to edit something or,
yeah, and he like made this incredible little movie. It was so good, you know?
Mhm.
I'm all about giving people license to do what they want to do.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Drew, for talking with me today. I really appreciate your time.
Sure, thanks.
I have one more question.
Hmm.
I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Don't give up and don't listen to anybody else. Just listen to yourself.
Bringing it backward.